All right, y'all. So, chapter 2 quiz. And reason I'm doing this is because you got a lot of conversions on this, and this will help y'all in your science classes. So, for my number one, they want me to convert 9 feet to inches. Okay, so we're just going to see how many inches is in 9 feet. So, y'all, to start these off, I'm going to write down to 9 feet. And then I make me a little line sort of separating them off. Because what I do, I need to figure out what I need to do to convert feet into inches. So we need to figure out how many inches is in 1 foot. Now, a lot of these, they give you the conversions, but the conversion for feet to inches is that 12 inches equals 1 foot. Okay. So what I do, since I want to get rid of feet and turn them into inches, I come down here and I'll say 1 foot equals 12 inches. This is what you call dimensional analysis. By setting them up this way, since we want to end up with inches, notice that the feet cancel out. So all that's left is units, is your inches. Everything on top gets multiplied, and then you divide by everything on the bottom. So we would multiply 9 times 12. That gives me 108. So I would have 108 divided by 1, which is going to stay 108. And all the units are canceling out except inches. So my answer would be 108 inches, okay? Now we'll do another one on this number 2 that deals with years and hours. So for number 2, I'm going to convert 15 years to hours. Now they tell you neglecting leap years. Okay, so we're not worried about leap years. We're just going to convert 15 years into hours, neglecting leap years, okay? So we're starting with 15 years. So y'all, I'm going to draw this out again. So first of all, I need to convert years into days. So we know that 1 year equals 365 days. So I'm going to convert the years into days by saying for every 1 year, there is 365 days. So you want to do them so that these units are canceling out that you don't want. I don't want years. I'm now in days. Well, y'all, they don't want days. They want hours. So now I need to figure out how many hours is in a day. Well, we know 1 day equals 24 hours. So since I want to cancel days now, I'll come down here and say for every 1 day, we have 24 hours. So that my days will cancel and I'm left in hours, which is what they asked for. So what we would do, we would multiply 15 times 365 times 24. And then all we got on bottom is a bunch of ones. So that's not changing anything. So y'all, if you multiply 15 times 365 times 24, you'll get 131,400. And the units would be, the only unit I got left are the hours. So y'all, any questions on those two? So that's the main thing. Use your conversion rates to get these into the actual units you want when you're done, okay? So number 3, a certain race. So a certain race is a distance of 12 furlongs. So furlongs is something you'll hear in horse racing, okay? Now, what they want to know, how far is the race? In A, miles, and B, yards. So basically, that's two things we're converting. We need to convert 12 furlongs into miles, and then we need to convert 12 furlongs into yards. Okay? So let me start by converting it into miles for part A. So we start with our 12 furlongs. Now, they'll give you access to the measurement conversions on these problems. So notice here it says 1 furlong is 1/8 of a mile. Well, if you want to get that in decimal form, 1 divided by 8 gives me 0.125. So 1 furlong is 0.125 of a mile. So y'all, that's the conversion I'm going to use on this. Okay. So I'm going to come in here for every 1 furlong. That is equal to 0.125 miles. All right, y'all. So these furlongs are going to cancel. And notice I'm ending up in miles like they wanted in part A. So y'all, let's go do that and on our calculator. So I'm going to share that screen real quick. So I would do my 0.125 times 12. And I get a 1.5. So that means it would be 1.5 miles. All right, y'all, let me see what my chat's saying. I didn't see it lighting up. Okay. All right, y'all. So part B, we're going to turn the furlongs into yards. Okay, so I'm going to start with my 12 furlongs. Now, I already know how many furlongs is in a mile, so every 1 furlong is 0.125 miles. So that cancels the furlongs. So now what I got to do is turn my miles into yards if we can. And y'all, I'm going to look at this same sheet here. And right here, you see that it says 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. So I'm having to do two conversions on this one because my furlongs are not converting right into yards, okay? So I'm going to turn them into miles and then turn that mile into yards. All righty, so 1 mile, we'd come down here, we're going to convert miles. So we know that 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So my miles will now cancel, and I'm going to be left up with yards like they want, okay? So you would multiply all three of these on top. All we got on the bottom is a bunch of ones. So y'all, if you multiply all three of these together, you would get 2,640 yards. All right, y'all. Number 4 here. So questions on those 3 at the moment. So yeah, those ones were just basic conversions on those. So now on number 4, they start getting a little comparative on these. So they want to know, decide which of the 2 given prices is the better deal. So first it says you can fill a 12-gallon tank for $25.63, or you can buy gas for $2.20 per gallon. So really, they just want to know what's the best deal. Now, buy gas for $2.20 a gallon. They're telling me how much it is a gallon. So what I need to know is how much are we paying per gallon for the 12-gallon tank. Okay. So we're going to come in and figure out what we're spending for each one. Okay. Now we already know this one's $2.20 a gallon. So I'm going to start with my 25.63. So this one you paid $25.63 for a 12-gallon tank. So this one costed $12.63 for 12 gallon. All right, so notice when I'm done, I'll have the price per gallon. So what we need to do basically is take 25.63, and since the 12's on bottom, we need to divide by 12. So y'all, if we take 25.63 divided by 12, let's see what that gives us. Oh, I'm gonna round that off like money. So that's 2.13, but I got a 5 after the 3, so that rounds that 3 up to a 4. So I'm gonna round this off to 2.14. That's gonna give me 2.14 per gallon. All righty, so what's the better deal? Fill the 12-gallon tank for $25.63, or you're buying gas for $2.20 a gallon? Well, y'all look here. The better deal is the 12-gallon tank for $25.63. Okay, because to fill the 12-gallon tank at $25.63, we were paying $2.14 per gallon. So you just got to figure out both of them on the price per gallon and then compare that, okay? All right, y'all, this number 5 is probably one of the trickier questions. This one is about an apartment in Monte Carlo versus an apartment in Santa Fe. All right, y'all, so the monthly rent on a 40 square meters. So I'm just going to call that. So square meters, M squared is the notation you would use, but this stands for square meters. The monthly rent on a 40 square meter apartment in Monte Carlo, Monaco, is 1,050 euros. Now they're telling me the monthly rent on a 350 square feet. So square feet would be feet with a exponent 2. This stands for square feet in apartment in Santa Fe. Oh, where's that? In New Mexico is $650. So what they want to know in terms of price, per area, which apartment is less expensive? All right, so they'll give you conversions you need on this one. So y'all let me see what I did on this one. I'm going to start out with the Monte Carlo apartment and see how much it will cost per foot in American dollars. And then we'll do the Santa Fe apartment, okay? So the Monte Carlo is 1,050 euros. And we're paying that for 40 square meters. Okay, y'all. So the first conversion I'm going to do, I'm going to convert euros into dollars. So they'll give you this little sample currency exchange rates. And here's my euro. So this is telling me how many dollars per foreign coin it is. So if you notice, there's $1.058 per euro, okay? So that's going to be my conversion on the euro. So for every euro, that is $1.058. So y'all look at that. My euros will now cancel. So the second thing we got to figure out is to convert meters into square feet. Now, y'all, I'm going to show you something on here. Here's the conversion from meters to feet. But since I'm looking for square feet, we need to square this number when we put it into our conversions. So if you have 3.28, we're going to square that so that we can get our conversion, okay? So you can't square the feet without squaring the number on those. So let's go to our calculator and we'll do 3.28 and we're going to square that with this x squared button on the left side. So that's going to square that. And notice I get 10.7584. So that's how many square feet is in a square meter. So y'all watch out. You can't just go feet to meters on that. We got to square them, okay? All righty. So we said for every meter squared, notice the meter squares are on the bottom. So for every 1 meter squared, that equaled 10.7584 6.584 squared feet. So y'all, the meter squares will cancel so that the feet squared are on bottom like I needed. I need to figure out the price in dollars per square feet. So y'all, this one we would multiply to 1050 times to 1.058 and then divide by 40 and divide by the 10.7584. So y'all, let's go to the calculator and do that. All right, so on top was 1,050 euros times 1.058. Which gives me 1,110.90, which would be 90 cents. So if you was paying US dollars for that same apartment in meters squared, you would be paying $1,110 versus 1,050 euros, okay? All right, so now we got to take this answer, divide by 40, and divide by our 10.7584. So you got to divide by everything that's on the bottom. And y'all, let's see, we're going to round that off. 2.58 has a 1 after it, so we're going to keep that 2.58. Okay? So what that means is this apartment in Monaco is costing me $2.58 per square foot. All right, so we need to do that with the Santa Fe apartment. So they're telling me that it costs $650 for a 350 square foot. All right, y'all notice it's already in dollars per square feet. So all we basically got to do to this one is divide it and see what we're paying per square foot. So if we divide that, we end up with $1.86 per square foot. So you'll put in, it'll say the Monte Carlo apartment cost blank per square foot, which will be my 258. And the Santa Fe apartment cost 186 per square foot. Therefore, the apartment in Santa Fe is less expensive. So apartment in Santa Fe is less expensive. So y'all, that's how you do those kind of problems. You got to get them both into what they're asking for. And they wanted to know if you look at the answers on here, they're putting them in per square foot. So that's what I did them. And they're using dollars for American dollars per square foot on both of them. So that's why I did those conversions, okay? All right, y'all, question on that? Now, number 6 is tedious, but it's not hard. It's just a lot of work on 6. So they're telling me a toll collector on a highway receives $8 for buses. So $8 for buses and $7 for sedans. So at the end of 3 hours, They collected $296. So then it says, how many buses and sedans has Drew to tow during that period? And then they say, list all possible solutions. Now, they give you about 1, 2, 3. They give us about 10 different scenarios here. Okay, so let's see. So A is 30 buses and 8 sedans. B is 33 buses and 5 sedans. C is 9 buses and 32 sedans. D, 16 buses and 24 sedans. E, 2 buses and 40 sedans. F, 37 buses and 0 sedans. G, 5 buses and 37 sedans. H, 23 buses and 16 sedans. I, 19 buses and 21 sedans. And y'all finally J, which is 0 buses and 42 sedans. So I'll show y'all how I would do A, and then I'll let y'all do some of these ones, okay? So for A, I got 30 buses at $8. So that would be 30 buses times $8 plus I got 8 sedans times $7. I'm going to multiply that out and see if that gives me 296, okay? So I'm going to go to my calculator. All right, y'all, let me clear everything. So I had 30 buses times $8 plus 8 sedans times $7. So if it's a possible solution, I'm going to get 296. And y'all look at that. I got 296. So what that means is A is one of the possible solutions. So I'm going to circle A. So y'all, somebody do B and tell me, is B a possible solution? Oh, y'all gonna make me pick names out, ain't you? All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead.
No, it's $2.99. I got $2.99.
So 299, which means that B is not a solution. Good job. How about C, 9 buses and 32 sedans? So which one are y'all doing? I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So y'all are doing C. C is definitely 296. Good job. So C is a possible outcome. How about D, 16 buses and 24 sedans? So D. Oh, you're all right, Shantammy. That's good. Yeah, they go across instead of down like you would think. So D, I'm getting a yes. Good job. I did that and it came up to 296. E is 2 buses and 40 sedans. That's a good job. I got 296 on that one. F, 37 buses, 0 sedans. So it looks like all y'all gotta do is multiply that 37 times 8 on that one. So it looks like I'm getting a yes on that one. So F is good. All right, y'all, G, 5 buses, 37 sedans. So that's a no. Good job. H, 23 buses, 16 sedans. So could H be a possible outcome on that one? All right, Brown says yes, good job. All right, I says 19 buses and 21 sedans.
No, I got 299.
Okay, so good job. That was too much. And then finally, we got J, 0 buses, 42 sedans. So y'all just got to multiply the sedans on that one. So is that one a possible outcome? And let's see, y'all are saying no. Good job. So y'all, that's the trick on 6 is just to figure out each of the scenarios they give you and see all the ones that give you 296, okay? All right, y'all, let me flip that page over. All right, y'all, so we got one more to go on this quiz. Our number 7. How much would a person pay? So how much is paid for 11.1 pounds of bananas at a price of $2.48 per pound? And y'all, I'll tell you, I'll do that the same way I've been doing these. I know I can buy 11.1 pounds of bananas. Now remember, I'm looking for how much I'm going to pay for these. So what I got to do is figure out what I'm paying per pound. What they're telling me right here, every pound is $2.48. Okay, so per means division. So that's why I put that pound on bottom when they give me 248 per pound. But y'all notice the pounds are going to cancel. And we're doing what you thought we would do. I got 11 pounds, 11.1 pounds of bananas. I'm going to multiply that by the 248 to see how much I'm paying altogether. All right, so I'll let one of y'all multiply that out. And then just write how much we gotta pay for those 11.1 pounds, okay? Oh, y'all are so close.
2753.
53. Yeah, that last digit was getting some of us.
Yeah.
So let me see what's happening to those. I'm gonna hit it on my calculator real quick. But yeah, it should be the 53, okay? So 11.1 times 2.48. Oh yeah, so since there was an 8 after the 2, y'all remember that rounds that 2 up to a 3. And these will say, let me go to that one here. They'll say round to the nearest cent, okay? So y'all, that would be what, 27 and then 53. And then you'll check, on MATLAB, you'll put 2753 like that. And then it'll say pounds or dollars, and you choose the dollars, okay? All right, y'all. So that was basically the quiz 2 you got this week. It's not bad. Just watch out. I think one of the trickier ones was that apartment one with the Monte Carlo and the Santa Fe. But they'll give you them conversions you can pull up, and you just find what you need in order to go from one conversion to another one, okay? So I got a lot of nurses in here. Y'all are going to be doing all this kind of stuff, converting how many pounds someone is into kilograms. A lot of medicines in kilograms. Cubic inches, cubic centimeters, all that fun stuff, milliliters. So y'all get to play with a little bit of conversions in especially in med school, okay? Or wherever you learn about medicine. All right, y'all. So um questions on that. All righty, so I will say this. I think next week y'all have your first test, and it'll be due by that next Sunday. So probably next week I'm going to do some reviewing on them test questions. Okay, because tests have a lot of weight in this class, and I'm going to help y'all get through that test pretty good. And then I think the next week I'll be using the lab to help y'all do the project on the family budget, okay? And then that way y'all can do that budget and get them points. So instead of giving you a lot of tests, we do budget. We do a couple projects and then a couple tests. But also, who's got any questions for us? All right, so I'm going to stop my recording so I can get this sent out to y'all later.